Hey everybody, Jem here from the Goater Guild. I'm putting together a crafting guide today to help you guys out to figure out what you need to do to craft and get into the basics and some of the fundamentals behind it. I've seen a lot of guides out there that were either incomplete or overly complicated, or most of them weren't done in YouTube. So I'm going to put this together for you guys, and hopefully you're going to be able to figure out exactly how you need to craft, what you need to do, and the ins and outs. Alright, so to bring up your crafting menu, you're going to push V. Alright, so this is your overall crafting menu. You see there's 5 tabs about the different aspects of crafting. So let's start with this first one. So you have up top here all of your different crafting main branches, and then here are your foraging branches. These little numbers in the top right hand corner are your current level. If you highlight over there, it tells you your current XP and what you need to get to the next level. And then finally, you have this thing called curiosity. So I think this is the major thing that people get confused about. So your curiosity is basically your XP for crafting. So a lot of people have asked me in the guild, oh hey, so I need to spend my points in my guild book over here, my crafting book, to get up to the next level. And I always tell them, well no, that's not how it works. Even though it kind of seems like that's how it works, that's not how it works. So if you want to get up your curiosity level, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to level up these skills right here. And so you'll see I have experience points, and your experience points are what you use to go to the next tab. So the second tab right here, this is your crafting book, and so I've got to chapter 3, almost chapter 4. So I'm certainly no expert on crafting, but I've gotten far enough along to be able to explain how everything works. So this part's actually pretty important. So you have right here, this is your first chapter, and most of you who are just starting, you'll see that these other chapters are grayed out. So I'll give you an example. For me, look, chapter 4 is grayed out, so I can't do anything here yet. So you have a certain bank of experience points. So as you level up your different crafting skills, you're going to get more curiosity, which is going to open up these pages. So you'll get to level 2, and that'll open up 2, and then level 3, etc., all the way to the end. And then each of them will give you experience points that you use to spend on skills. So to kind of go through them, this top row is the most important. These are utility skills, and so I think these are meant to kind of force everybody into crafting who, even if you don't want to do it, you do want to get these utility skills. So to give you an example, like right here, to set a stall to sell something, you need to level up. And then if you want to go to the next level here, this is where you start getting some interesting things. So here in this second row, you speed up your diligence and inspiration recovery. Those are your crafting points, so you definitely want to get that. And then you can add more friends, and the list goes on and on. You know, right here, this is a really useful. You get mobile mail and mobile auctioning, so you don't have to go to an auction house to sell things or buy things. So as you see, I've got a couple people buying things I'm selling, so I don't need to go all the way over to any attendant. I can just sell right from here. So that's definitely another useful thing. You get some special bags that you can use for apparel and other things. And then finally, this is the important one that I think everybody's interested in getting, is that taboo kiss. And this allows same-sex kissing. So at a very minimum, you want to craft just so you can get that, because that's just a kind of silly thing in the game that you don't want to not have access to. Alright, so as far as leveling these up, so say that you've gone through, you've done some crafting, you get a bunch of points, and you're ready to spend them. Now, you only get a limited number as you level up, so I recommend you not specialize in too many things. So you want to get a good balance between the things you want to craft and the points you have to spend. So for me, I want to do a lot of foraging to sell materials and also crafting in a couple of areas, but I don't want to do too much. I'm thinking I'm going to go into alchemy and maybe chef to do some food buffs and some potions. So that's what I'm specializing in. So you'll see down the botany tree, the medicine, I've kind of unlocked all those all the way through the third chapter. So again, I'll leave that up to you guys to pick whatever you want to do. But one thing I recommend is you want to unlock all of these level 1 foraging skills, because that's going to help you to level up more quickly. So you'll see I've unlocked the level 1 and also the level 2. So these are going to be helpful for you. And one other thing to note is if you look here, see how there's like these little magnifying glasses in these different points? You want to make sure you click and learn all of them. This was something that actually confused me and a couple of other people first off, where you've unlocked the main skill, but then you can't actually harvest the thing that it says you can unless you get the little magnifying glass. And those are different knowledge points. So, like, look over here. If I look at this, I see that there's actually 3 pieces to this, and it requires 40 knowledge, the 20 and 20. So if I unlock one recipe, I click here, and then if I want the other, I click here. So if you just unlock the broad category without unlocking the 2 little pieces, you won't be able to do them. So that's something that definitely has tricked up people, so you're going to want to make sure, if you want to get a recipe, that you click on the right recipe to get it unlocked. So that's pretty much it for the crafting book. Alright, so moving on to the crafting skills and how you actually level this up. So you're going to see here that 4th tab is your crafting skills. So I've got the alchemy and medicine. This is the top one, and this is one category. Next, you have kind of your woodworking stuff, which is woodwork, artificing, structure. The middle is your blacksmithing, so blacksmith, silversmith, alchemy. And I don't know why alchemy's here twice, but this is more like making tools and stuff. So I haven't really done this, but there's a bunch of different kind of tools you can make. 4th, this is your outfitting, so building your kind of like your armor crafting, outfit, or apparel. And then finally, this is your chef for your food buffs, chef, brewing, and art of tea. Alright, so you'll see that I've leveled up a couple of them. And so what you want to do is, if you want to get your levels higher, your crafting, you probably want to get all of these to at least level 5. I found that there's no limit on these and how you level them. The more you level, the more you unlock. The only issue is you have a limited amount of these 2 points called diligence and inspiration. And so these recover at a certain rate. I've buffed up my skills a little, so I get 1 point every, I don't think, 5 minutes or so. But the default is to get 0.8 points every 6 minutes. So you'll see that you get these points back pretty slowly. When you get to these higher level recipes, like let's just look at a level 30, you're using a lot of points at once. So this is literally taking hours and hours to accumulate the points to make one of these. So that's why I'd recommend get them all to level 5 so that you're going to be able to get the recipes that you need and you're going to unlock those chapters that you want. But I wouldn't go too much further than that unless you want to just specialize in crafting, especially because you're just not going to have enough points. As far as I can tell, you know, the premium helps you because you regenerate these points offline, but there's really nothing else you can get. And there is one item that converts between diligence and inspiration at a 2-to-1, so 2 diligence to 1 inspiration and vice versa. And that's kind of useful, but you don't really want to use that because you don't have a lot of points. You don't want to waste them like that. So anyways, that's what I recommend. And if you want to level up, all you're going to need to do is, say, take woodworking. If I want to level this up, the only recipe I can use is either flexible boards or, you know, a lot of these other ones are pretty high leveled. I can like make flexible sticks, banters, or etc. So you're going to want to get low grade timber. So you have options. You either go out and fell this stuff yourself, or you could buy it off the auction house. Either way. Now, one thing to keep in mind is felling takes your points. So if you want to just specialize in crafting, then maybe you want to buy a bunch of materials and then take those materials and use them. Now, if you want to just kind of be all around like I am, then you probably want to go out and go ahead and forage that stuff yourself. It's going to take resources, but it's going to also help you level up. So you have woodworking, artificing, structure. All 3 of these contribute towards this main category. So any recipes you make in any of these 3 are going to give you levels here, and any levels you get here are going to increase your overall curiosity and experience points. So that's pretty much the gist of it. If you look, this 5th tab is fishing, this 3rd tab is your foraging, and I'll do another video on that. That's kind of separate from this. Oh yeah, so one other thing that's kind of important is you're going to see as you get to these higher level recipes, you're going to see requirements. And so these requirements aren't only that you have leveling in your certain category, but also a certain level of skill. So this one's forbition and erudition. And if you look, say, alchemy has different ones, erudition and poise. So if you bring up your character menu and you look at the crafting tab, you're going to see that you have a bunch of points here. And so all of this is tied together to your social level. So your social level is something a little bit different, but really you get this social level by either crafting or foraging, or if you're in the hot springs and you eat some food, that's going to get your social level up as well. So all 3 of those contribute to your overall points. And so points are kind of related to crafting in that you need a certain minimum amount of them to do certain recipes. So that keeps you from just burning through a ton of crafting and leveling up too fast. Because if you don't have a lot of points, you're going to not be able to use these higher level recipes. So I'm social level 23. And a cool thing is once you get to social level 20, you're going to get a bag that unlocks, and that's part of that crafting book I showed you up here in this top row. And so what's really cool about that is once you get 23, you have a separate bag. So I'll show you if I go to my inventory and I bring it up. It's called a resource bag, and I can already stack all of my resources in here, and it keeps them from cluttering my inventory. So it's definitely a very helpful thing to have. So definitely you want to get that up. And again, you get this up by doing crafting, foraging, or the other hot springs, leveling up. So then finally you get these points, and each of these points are tied to a certain one of these crafting or gathering skills. So if you look at alchemy, alchemy uses erudition and poise. So if I highlight over erudition, you're going to read down here that erudition has a certain thing. It recovers inspiration by 0.1 each tick and increases that, so having more erudition is good. And also it's a primary attribute for medicine, alchemy, crafting, and brewing. So as you're leveling up certain specific skills, so say for example one that has a primary in erudition, you're going to get extra points in erudition. So that's why you'll see that I don't have an even spread here. I have more towards this side, and that's because I specialize in medicine and alchemy. So you'll see, looking over here, I have 41 points in erudition because I have a lot higher level in this than in other things. Another thing is forbearance, which is felling, mining, architecture, and smithing, and you'll see I have that level pretty high as well. So where I don't have a lot of points, say in poise, that's for other categories that I haven't specialized in, such as utensils and apparel. Those are a little lower leveled. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it. That's a pretty good base guide, understanding for you guys on how you're going to do your crafting, and hopefully you guys found this helpful. And if you do, feel free to drop us a line. The guild is Goater. That's big G, little O, little T, big R. And we have a really nice group of people. We use TeamSpeak 3. We're pretty active every day. And yeah, if you ever want to join up with us, just send me a message. My full name in game is Gemmynosus, right there. And yeah, if you're interested, drop me a line, and look forward to more videos of mine where I'm going to talk about some of the questing stuff, the guild island, foraging, and a lot of other things. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys, and have fun in Revelation. Take care.
Oh, please don't let me die.